Hi, my name is Bijal and I am a bibliotherapist and founder of Bibliotherapy, a bibliotherapy and literary curation practice. I'm also the author of the book Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading. I curate book prescriptions and provide online training in bibliotherapy. More detail of this can be found on my website, www.bookTherapy.io. In this podcast, I share my knowledge and research on bibliotherapy, including the latest developments, science, and book recommendations. Join me every week where we take a deep dive into bibliotherapy. We release 2 episodes a week. Voice notes from me, your resident bibliotherapist, and Ask the Bibliotherapist, book recommendations for what's on your mind. Join our member-only subscription here and get access to all episodes and corresponding transcripts. I hope you enjoy the show, and if you'd like a bibliotherapist in your pocket, you might find my book, Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading, a helpful companion. It's available at any bookstore that you shop at. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and get new episodes as they're released. And as always, I love hearing from listeners. So if you'd like to get in touch, share any book recommendations or thoughts on bibliotherapy, you can do so at Bijal@booktherapy.io. Thanks for listening. In today's voice note from me, I wanted to focus on whether bibliotherapy is effective and what's the evidence for it. Bibliotherapy is the use of books and reading materials as a therapeutic tool to address mental health issues. Its main advantages are ease of use, low cost, low staffing demands, and greater privacy. If you'd like to learn more about bibliotherapy, then Book Therapy's online bibliotherapy literature and mental health course takes you on a step-by-step guide to show you how bibliotherapy works, the various tools and techniques available, and how it serves as an adjunct to psychotherapy and counselling, why it supports cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, and includes tons and tons of resources and helpful book recommendations. In terms of whether bibliotherapy is effective, let's look at the evidence for it. The effectiveness of bibliotherapy can depend on various factors, such as the individual's specific needs and the quality of the reading materials used. However, research suggests that bibliotherapy can be effective in treating a range of mental health conditions. For example, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology in 2015 reviewed 29 studies that used bibliotherapy for the standalone treatment of depression in adults. The analysis found that bibliotherapy showed a significant reduction on a standalone basis and was equally as effective as face-to-face therapy or group therapy. The results also indicated that bibliotherapy may be more effective when the reading material is specifically designed for depression, including both reading and writing therapies, rather than general self-help books. In 2015, a study was undertaken in Tehran, Iran, to determine whether bibliotherapy can help children with intellectual disability. Participants were selected among the students of 4 primary schools in Tehran, and they received for 3 years a special bibliotherapy intervention provided by the public library. The bibliotherapy sessions were held once a week during the academic year. The study found that bibliotherapy was effective in improving the children's social skills, communication skills, and emotional understanding. For children with a sibling with a disability, presents unique challenges and experiences that that can impact their emotional well-being. As a result of the varying situations that arise due to their siblings' conditions, these children may struggle to articulate their emotions or experience confusion. Bibliotherapy is an intervention that has been found to be helpful in enabling children to identify and express their feelings, as well as discover ways to cope with them. A study conducted by Dawn de Vries and Suzanne Sandan in 2019 provides evidence to support the identified benefits of bibliotherapy and further emphasizes the importance of creating opportunities for these children to interact with peers who are in similar situations and to whom a safe space to express their feelings with supportive adults makes a world of difference. Gregory and Vassie, in their study, illustrate how school nurses utilized bibliotherapy to help children in confronting issues of bullying. School nurses were encouraged to explore bibliotherapy to address childhood teasing and bullying and to promote a healthy school environment. Children's literature provides a unique communication channel between parents, teachers, and children. In this situation, children were exposed to a fictional tale about teasing and bullying and subsequently asked to share their personal non-fictional experiences along with their distressing issues. The bibliotherapy was shown to be very effective, and the children acquired effective coping strategies to manage the teasing both in and outside of school. A study conducted by Friesvog et al. In 2006 showed the beneficial impact of bibliotherapy on the self-care behaviours of somewhat fragile seniors in care home communities. As the Swiss author Henry Frederick Emil said, "To know how to grow old is the masterwork of wisdom and one of the most difficult chapters in the great art of living. Successful aging requires proactive resource management in the face of diminishing returns and increasing losses." In contemporary society, managing one's own aging process has become increasingly vital due to medical and social advancements that have extended the number of healthy post-retirement years. However, this stage of life lacks clear social roles and structures, necessitating proactive efforts. Additionally, with a growing elderly population and healthcare cutbacks, increasing the self-management abilities of older people could alleviate some of the burden on the healthcare system. In this study, researchers created a bibliotherapy program. Specifically tailored for slight to moderately frail older individuals who are at risk of loneliness, depression, insomnia, chronic conditions, and was aimed at improving their self-management abilities so that they could enjoy social well-being, i.e., receiving sufficient attention, acceptance of who they are, and enjoy a healthy level of status. Participants were asked to take part in a correspondence course that focused on reading about examples of how fictitious characters found activities around self-management to be helpful for their psychological, physical, and social well-being. The participants were then asked to engage in creative bibliotherapy by taking initiatives such as setting their own goals for self-care, cultivating hope and faith that they will be able to do some of the more challenging self-care tasks, building small habits to allow them to achieve these goals, and commit to an action plan. Participants were also asked to consider substitutes to activities and people that they enjoyed seeing, which they may no longer be able to. The results were remarkable, and in this respect, bibliotherapy proved to be a great prevention tool that was both affordable and effective, and could be completed daily. Plus, they could be read, the texts, or literary interventions as needed, so that they would always have something to draw on to motivate them. Last but not least, let's look at a study exploring the use of poetry in heart attack patients with anxiety and PTSD. Patients often suffer from anxiety following a heart attack. Stein et al. In 2018 noted that conditions such as anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder tend to arise in these patients. These emotional responses are thought to stem from the pain experienced during the heart attack and the perception of the threat to life. A study was conducted by health specialists in Iran to evaluate the impact of poetry on reducing anxiety and PTSD in heart attack patients. Poetry therapy was offered during 4 45-minute sessions a week. The poems were read 2 or 3 times, and the patients were encouraged to discuss specific concepts and semantics, as well as their communication with the poem, verse, or theme. The poems selected were based on specific criteria, such as their language, emotion, and perceptible concepts, and were chosen from Persian language poetry. Short, high, impressive, short, and exhilarating poems were used, and were selected based on their rhythms, fluency, and personal interest. The results showed that poetry therapy decreased the anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder in patients who suffered from heart attacks significantly. So there you have it, a myriad of studies to suggest that bibliotherapy can be effective in multiple areas of mental health and physical well-being. I hope you found the episode useful, and I always look forward to hearing from you. If you're working on a study on bibliotherapy, please do get in touch. And don't forget, the links to all of the studies mentioned here can be found in the show notes. If you'd like to learn more about how I use bibliotherapy with my clients, feel free to check out my book, Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading. Until next time, take care. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you'd like to sign up to our online courses or try a personalized book prescription or bibliotherapy session, you can do so following the links in the show notes. And as always, I love hearing from listeners, so don't hesitate to drop me an email at bijal@bookTherapy.io.